Ladies and gentlemen, Kim here. Welcome to the daily update. Hope you guys had a good day trading today. Market is down a little bit here on the S&P, 0.27% negative. Nasdaq did get hit harder today, almost down 1%, along with biotech, the healthcare and the utilities. It's interesting to note that during this time, we did see Russell 2000, the banks, energy, home builders, and retail sector making a run today. Semiconductor down a little bit. Dow slightly green there. Transport is up a little bit. And looks like utilities down, obviously retail and emerging market is up 0.5% or so. So kind of a mixed day, right? You got some sectors are down heavier and some sectors are up heavier. Some sectors kind of flat. So it's one of those days, mixed days here today. Bitcoin pretty much flat. Gold, silver, miners up a little bit, down a little bit. Up means dollar ETF is pretty much flat there. Oil's up 2%. Treasury bond is down a little bit. VIX slightly up there, 3%. Let's stick with S&P 500 ETF. Spider, 65-minute chart here. So we've been talking about 441.33, right? And also short-term moving average. Short-term moving average acting as a resistance last several weeks, all throughout this month of September. And then we reclaimed that short-term moving average here. And then what happened? It's been acting as potentially new support here last several days. Right here. As you can see, bears are not able to get beneath that area, acting as support in that vicinity. We're trying to figure out, this market is trying to figure out if we want to retest my midterm at around 440 or that gap area, or are we just going to get right back up to fill this gap? Remember what we talked about on the last update on Thursday night. This is the gap the buyers must fill, and bears obviously want to protect it. If this gap gets filled, things gonna be pretty hectic for the buyers, and buyers gonna probably find a lot of confidence at that time. I mean, once the gap gets filled, we will see this acting as resistance. We may see a short-term pullback and then to cultivate that higher low. But once this thing gets up, once we find that higher low above that short-term moving average, watch out, it's gonna get up here very, very quickly. So bears really want to protect this level. Buyers want to fill this here. If we lose a short-term moving average going into tomorrow, we have my midterm moving average residing at 440, but this entire area is going to act as strong support. 441, 439 or so. That's a level coinciding with the midterm and the gap area that opened up like a week ago or so, right? This is a pretty decent sized gap here. That area is going to provide support again. Not to mention we have this level that is a short-term or the midterm moving average residing in that vicinity. So right now, market is trying to figure out what it wants to do. Potentially, we see a bull pennant pattern. Right? And we talked about how we've been flagging like this for a couple last week or so. This might be bigger, pattern here. It consists of several days because these flagging patterns were only 1 day of price action. This looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, about 3 days of price action, potentially a bull pennant. We wouldn't know unless we see a full breakout and hold above it for first 2 hours. So you understand the level, right? Bears, you want to come down and fill this gap because all that buying pressure, you know why it is stalling like this, right? It's coming from these two up gaps. These gaps are providing that buying pressure. And right now what's going on is that as the price moves sideways, oscillators resetting after hitting that overbought sentiment, which we talked about last week. We hit that overbought, oscillators falling down, but price isn't falling down. Remember last time we saw this downturn on the oscillator? Well, price definitely came down pretty hard there. Here, what we see is price being adamant, staying sideways, waiting for the oscillator reset before this thing crosses back up. Basically, what it's telling us is that buyers are higher. Well, buyers did make a huge move here from here at 429. It got up to 445 in just 3 days. So that's what this was. And then buyers need to reset. Buyers need to rest. And we move sideways. That's what we call correcting through what? Through time. Well, the oscillator reset here. So the only question is this oscillator going to find support in some certain level here? We have not able to, we actually blew it right through this potential prior resistance. But oscillator doesn't always respect these levels as good as the price. So I'm not going to put too much weight on it today because it could potentially crosses anywhere in this vicinity. It will be better for the buyers if this doesn't come all the way back down to bottom of its band, but at some point this thing stops short, maybe in the middle point, and then if this thing gets back up here, there's a great chance Bull's gonna not only fill this gap, it's going after 455. I'll come back for you tomorrow. We'll reassess the situation. Enjoy your evening. Good luck trading tomorrow.